Tuesday Insights, Matt Noyce. If you're looking for just the next 24 hours, something quick and easy, you want to go to our homepage, onedegreeoutside.com. Look for Noyce's notes in 1 Degree Outside today. This is the deeper dive into the next few days. I'm going to take you into the weekend. You know, yesterday we had an axis of heaviest precipitation that ran basically from the Cape, where we had localized flash flooding, through Fall River, New Bedford. The bullseye was in Rhode Island, and then that came up through eastern Connecticut, central and western Massachusetts as well. Other than that, it was kind of hit or miss as to how much rain you got. But boy, some of the higher amounts really register here. West Kingston, Rhode Island, 3.5 inches of rain. Same deal at Warwick, Rhode Island. 2 inches of rain at East Wareham, over 2 inches at Wilbraham. Belchertown picking up over 1 1/3 inch, and 2-inch hail, 2-inch diameter hail in Granville, Massachusetts. It was so deep that according to the Skywarn Spotter Network, folks were shoveling the hail after it came down. Amazing stuff. And it was all because the cloud tops were so cold. We talked about the cold pool of air in Insights both at the end of last week and yesterday, and that really was kind of driving a lot of that. Now in the next 24 hours, most of the rain shows up in northern New England. Remember, this is just next 24 hours, and actually I think that it depends on when you're watching this. So that's through, let's say, about early to mid-morning on Wednesday. There'll be more after that. We'll get into that in a second. What's happening tomorrow is a cold front's coming, and look what it does. The dew point temperature rises through tomorrow, then comes down. You get a shot of fall air that relaxes with some summer warmth and humidity returning this weekend, and then a big shot of fall air comes in at the middle of next week, and that's going to mean some widespread lows in the 40s possible on the overnight periods of the middle of next week. So you can see why there's nothing today in terms of action. Nice break in the action. Next disturbance, center of low pressure coming into the upper Great Lakes, and attendant cold front with it. That is going to be moving in during the course of the day tomorrow, and that's why the National Weather Service Storms Prediction Center has highlighted parts of the northern mid-Atlantic into the northeast for an increased chance of severe weather. But I'm about to show you why I don't think there's a whole lot of severe weather that goes on in New England tomorrow. Here's the setup. Interestingly, I want you to expect some rain in the morning on Wednesday between 6 and 8 a.m. Not only do you have an area low pressure coming through that frankly launches showers and some embedded downpours from midnight on in the North Country, but I mean even in the Boston and Worcester area between, let's say, about that 5 and 8, 6 and 8 in the morning time frame, you got a little surge of warmth and humidity coming up on the south side of this area low pressure that likely will pulse some showers through. Then once this center of low pressure goes by, you actually stabilize the atmosphere a little bit. You make it a little less favorable for showers and storms. So at the midday, I'm not foolish enough to tell you there won't be anything, right? You've got a cold front slicing into humid air. There'll probably be some isolated showers or downpours around, but I do think they'd be mostly isolated, and you see that here. And then actually, because of the timing of the cold front, by the time we get to the end of the day when you normally have peak heating and the most action, you're behind the front already in northern and central New England. So really the best chance of anything redeveloping during the later day would be south of the Massachusetts Turnpike, and that's why really it's New York and Pennsylvania and New Jersey that more are under the gun for severe weather later on in the day. By Thursday and Friday, you've got drier, cooler air coming in on a northeasterly wind. It is coming across the ocean. It's not picking up enough moisture, though, to make a difference. When the humidity and moisture returns this weekend, it brings cloud cover with it. Saturday, greatest chance of showers northern and western New England. If you are in southern and eastern New England, there's a good chance a lot of the day is dry. The best chance of showers and storms would be late in the day into the evening. The only thing is cold front still would have to come through. So in southern and eastern New England, there is the chance that some of those showers would hang on into Sunday morning. And you're going to see that in the 14-day in a second. The other thing I just want to make you aware of is as the wind comes onshore, particularly Thursday and Friday, it does churn the seas. It makes sense. You've got what you call a northeast fetch, winds that come across the water. They stir the seas, so to get 3 to 5 feet certainly is very reasonable. As we head into the upcoming weekend, you've still got some 2 to 3 footers along our nearshore waters, even into Saturday for that matter as well. Watching the tropics, I told you in the pattern predictions yesterday I saw no development this week, and I'd say that's still the case. But by the weekend, it'll be interesting. So this is a tropical wave that's just come off of Africa. National Hurricane Center says, all right, next 7 days, 20% chance of development. It might be higher than that, especially by the time it gets to the western end of this highlighted area. This is the tropical wave. It's looking okay now, but it's surrounded by dry air. It's flirting with what we call the intertropical convergence zone, and it's very hard for any tropical storms to develop when they're near that. But as this comes away from that a little bit and starts to make its way westward, it does come into slightly more favorable conditions by this upcoming weekend. Here's my concern. When you look at the jet stream and the way it's set up out over the Atlantic Ocean, it is going to be favorable for continued massive high pressure to be set up both at the surface and the jet stream level across the central part of the Atlantic. The reason that's a problem, storms don't go into high pressure. They have to go around it. So this thing, if it does develop this upcoming weekend, by next week will be coming around the outskirts of this. And I don't know if you remember, in pattern predictions yesterday, I told you not this weekend, but next weekend, we do orient the jet stream to come out of the south. That's an open window to the tropics. So certainly, I'm not telling you this is something we have to worry about. It's a long way out. We're talking about 2 weeks out, right? But unlike previous situations this year when I've looked at the jet stream and said, it's too fast, the westerlies are too strong for anything to get up here, this time I say, it's all about timing. Does that disturbance develop, and is that window open as it nears the eastern seaboard? So this time around, I'd say, you know what? Next couple of weeks, we're going to be watching very carefully what comes out of those waves. All right, tomorrow, we know the humidity is going to be with us, right? That kind of peaks tomorrow. Temperatures up into the 80s. But look at northern New England. There's the change already coming in. And tomorrow night, it's crazy. We get down to the 40s in a whole bunch of spots in northern New England. The brand new air is streaming in. Thursday, some of you are going to think it feels a little too cool. It's going to feel like fall. It's 70 degrees in Boston. It's 70 to 75 for most of us. By Friday, it's low to mid 70s for us. And by the time we get to Saturday, well, here comes the humidity again. Best chance of showers, as I mentioned, in northern and western New England Saturday, right? But with the humidity comes the warmth and the chance of storms late in the day. And as I mentioned, if that cold front hangs on into Sunday morning, then you're going to end up still seeing some showers in southern New England in particular on the first part of Sunday. So we'll watch the timing on all of that. Either way, it looks like by the middle of next week, we are into the 70s. You already know it, but I'll tell you one more time. Download our app, and you can grab the 14-day for your neighborhood, along with the hourly forecast, and follow any showers on radar. You can grab Noises, 1 degree outside, weather app on both App Store and Google Play. That's it for Insights today. We'll see you later on as we get toward evening. Have a great day.